Okay, I'm here for one reason and one reason alone. Betty. As we all know, Taylor Swift in the year 2020, as Twitter has so eloquently claimed, is everything 2012 wanted to be. She decided to do us the greatest service and to throw us in our present human condition a lifeline, and that lifeline is Folklore, her 7th studio album. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I do think that we really needed this one. What a spontaneous treat. And as a whole, I would say that the album has very much brought us together during this tumultuous time, except for one little detail that I think has become quite divisive. Betty. I heard it and I immediately burst into tears. I was like, this is the gentle queer girl anthem that I have been waiting for. But apparently, not everybody agrees with me. The straights have come to Twitter. The song is actually from the perspective of a man called James. It's a connecting song to 2 other tracks on the album, and it's told from multiple people's point of view. No, I do not think so. I do not think you got that right. And in this video, I will really organize all my thoughts to explain to you why by breaking down the song lyric by lyric. Is this excessive? Maybe, but the people on my Instagram did give me the green light and the go-ahead for this video, and so I am going to make it. So let's do this. I cannot wait. My only disclaimer is I don't mean any of this to be malicious or taken in any kind of mean-spirited way. I will be making a lot of generalizations and I'm sure a lot of stereotyping in the process. I'm gonna be using a lot of girl versus guy language. If you identify as not necessarily girl or boy, and if you are somewhere in the middle, whether you're non-binary or genderqueer, I just want to validate that for a second and say, yes, this video is absolutely for you as well. And a lot of these traits that I'm assigning to queer women could certainly be assigned to anybody who is just queer, period. Just wanted to point that out as well. I don't want to hear any of this, you make everything gay. Gay people make everything gay. And sometimes a song is just a song, and why can't we all just have our own interpretations, and that's the beauty of music. Yeah, sure, but also, let's not erase the queer experience. I know when a song is straight. I hear enough of them. I'm here to say Betty is quite queer. So, let's get into it. Right away, the harmonica. I don't mean to say that the harmonica is exclusively a gay instrument.
I cannot play the harmonica.
The first lyrics. Betty, I won't make assumptions about why you switched your homeroom, but I think it's cause of me. I am just gonna point out, presents very gay. You're not wanting to make assumptions because the kind of elephant in the room is that they have had this like romantic entanglement, that there's a vibe. The very nature of queerness and same-sex relationship, especially in those early years, especially when you're still coming to terms with who you are and you're still coming to terms with your sexuality, and you're also young, to add like a whole nother blanket layer over that.
She's got a really cute smile.
Go talk to her.
Oh, sorry. Sharp elbows, not as sharp as your chin. What?
You're kind of taught to have this extra weariness and this extra caution and this extra, I don't know, guilt in making any kind of conclusions or assumptions because of not just the internalized homophobia, but because of the preconceived notion that everybody is straight. So then when you are gay and you're like, I have feelings for this lady and I think there's a vibe, but you're like, but I don't want to assume anything because I don't know, maybe we're just really good friends. Also, what man talks this way? Already I'm like, this feels like a very feminine voice. Betty, one time I was riding on my skateboard when I passed your house. It's like I couldn't breathe. Almost comical when you look at it through a gay perspective, or when you see it for what it is. 2 sides of the same coin. I don't think do straight people understand skateboarding as a thing in the queer community? Popular. But then it says, when I passed your house, it's like I couldn't breathe. I would just like to point out the trope of girls driving by their crush's house. This is something that happens a lot. Has anybody seen the movie Aquamarine? In middle school and high school, like, I feel like there was a lot of this stereotype of when you were a girl and you liked somebody, you would kind of purposefully go by their home. One could say that it's a little creepy, but I mean, it's all pretty innocent, I think, when you're that young. Pre-chorus. You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe a word she says most times, but this time it was true. The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. Excellent songwriting. I love the names that they're dropping. This world building is excellent. I do think that there are multiple different ways that you could interpret this, for sure. You can either be of the belief that this has a consistent meaning all throughout the song, or that it means different things. The word rumors and rumors in high school, to me, the stakes are automatically way more heightened if this isn't just a simple rumor about cheating when you're 17.
Time for some girl talk, man hands.
So let's pretend like I'm Inez. I would assume that the rumor that I'm spreading from my first listen would be like, oh my god, Betty, did you know that everyone is talking about how she is gay and that you guys are like really weirdly close, and people are saying that you are gay together, or you're being gay together? That's immediately where my brain goes. The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. Straight up ominous. We will address this. We'll address this in the future. Chorus time. But if I showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself or lead me to the garden? Listen, I'm somebody who can have authentic and loving relationships with men 100%, and I am very much capable at looking at this line and going, that is not a straight relationship. Absolutely not. If we think about it, if we're making generalizations, if a man fucks up and a man has hurt you, more likely they either like text you at 2 a.m. or yeah, do something impulsive like that. And that action is usually quite transparent, because the truth is, straight couples have less, they feel like they have less to hide innately, because that is what straight culture is. I don't want to throw my own personal experiences too much into this song. This is not necessarily what this is about, but I will say, I've done this. I have gone to a girl's party when we were having a will they won't they situation to try to feel it out. A lot of queer culture and queer dating is a lot of like kind of floating in the same friend groups, kind of floating in the same social spheres, and having a lot that's unsaid in regular social moments. Dating girls comes with a lot of mind games, if I'm speaking from my own experience. I don't think it's intentional, and I certainly don't think it's malicious. I just think that girls are very analytical, and girls have a lot of like hesitancy when it comes to the desire to not want to be creepy or to come on too strong. I think that really is something that hinders a lot of women, especially when it comes to like hitting on girls, making the first move, being honest about your feelings. It is a game of vulnerability chicken. So I will say that this line of I'll just show up at your party, that to me screams as a gay grand gesture.
I never had a hamster.
And in a straight relationship, let's be honest, it's not really a grand gesture. Oh, I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself or lead me to the garden? Lead me to the garden. People are just like, this is a song about a man and a woman. I disagree. The G in garden stands for gay. If you Google lesbian on Wikipedia, the first picture that pops up is 2 Greek women in a garden. Because it is a part of gay culture. Look up the history of the island of Lesbos and the history of the word sapphic and the garden of nymphs. We all know that the symbol for femininity and female beauty is often tied to nature. The same through line can be found though in queer female relationships in media. That is there. That is there. That is there. We can ignore it if you want, but I don't feel inclined to. In the garden, would you trust me? Again, the repeat of garden. Would you meet me in the garden? In the garden, would you trust me? Garden, 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 garden. someone really comes at me with some Adam and Eve imagery, I'm gonna be real mad. In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. I think this is the first time, like concrete time in the song, besides like maybe the pre-chorus, that she mentions this kind of other relationship that's going on. I'm gonna ignore that for now. I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. That is a gay sentiment.
And I missed you.
I think that's how a lot of people first come to terms with their sexuality. It's why when we look at the coming out experience, there's usually another person involved. Of course, you do not need another person in the mix to know who you are and to know your identity and know your attractions. That's not at all the case. Speaking largely from personal experience here, but the first time I realized that my queerness was not something that I could ignore was in regards to another person. It's really scary when you look at like, oh, I'm queer, I'm gay. It's very intimidating when you're young and you're just like, but when you tie it to somebody else, when you have those feelings to somebody else, it immediately comes like very comforting, because you're just like, there's nothing scary about you. This song doesn't say, I don't know anything, but I know I loved you. It doesn't say that. It says, I don't know anything, but I know I missed you. A very subtle way of confessing your feelings, which is something that to me feels very queer. Slap a rainbow on it.
Are you bragging about being kidnapped?
I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what the hell is going on with me, except that I like you.
Betty, I know where it all went wrong. Your favorite song was playing from the far side of the gym. I was nowhere to be found. I hate the crowds. You know that. Plus, I saw you dance with him. I don't know what to say other than I have had this conversation. And also the ending of the line. When I saw you dance with him. The whole song has higher stakes if this is a girl who's falling in love with another girl and, oh shit, now she's with a guy. She must have never liked me if she is now dancing with a guy.
I really like you.
Yeah, in this moment, but in 10 minutes you might be embarrassed by me or kissing some random guy. Just leave me alone.
Obviously, it's a little biphobic. It's a little biphobic sentiment. We all know that. We're trying to erase that. At the end of the day, like, you love who you love. If you are queer and you are with a man, like, that is also completely valid. Example A, I'm not with a man, but I had certainly been with a man and still been queer. If you're young and you're trying to figure out if this person just thinks of you as a friend and suddenly they are dancing with some guy, that automatically has different stakes. Okay, we have the pre-chorus again, we have the chorus again. I'm not gonna talk more about them yet, honestly, because I just talked about them. Here we go, now we get some answers and we can finally talk about that pre-chorus. Now here is, as some would say, the weak spot of this analysis. Some might say, some might be thinking, alas, if only, and that is this. Now, I've read the conspiracies that Taylor is revealing the new name of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' baby. I will not be addressing that or thinking that that is at all kind of valid. Again, this is my video. You can go read that on Twitter. It was trending yesterday, so if you care about that, you can go read it. I could not give two shoes about what Blake Lively is naming her baby, but I think it's a really good example that James could be a girl, because girls can be named James. Also, James is a very common last name. Also, let's be honest, people can be named whatever they're named and still be women, or still be queer or non-binary. Sometimes people change their names in order to align more with their gender identity. Anyway, what is straight about a girl writing and singing a song from the point of view of a boy, but it's in her female voice and it's talking about kissing girls? What? I would literally, quite literally, go on pixiehollow.com, the virtual Tinkerbell experience on Disney's channel situation. And I would, when it came to choosing my avatar, I would choose to be a boy tinker fairy simply because I wanted to get a girlfriend. I would literally just make my avatar, make his costume. He dressed usually in all green if you were curious, maybe with some brown undertones. Sorry, my cat's here because this video needs to be as gay as possible apparently. The first words out of my mouth as soon as I arrived in like by the tree, the big tree, if you were familiar with Pixie Hollow, the first thing that I would say, first words out of my mouth, who wants a BF? So when people say, they shine from the point of view of the boy, I say, are you sure? To me, it seems like there's something innately queer about a girl singing a song about kissing a girl and they're just making up the excuse. But it's from a boy's perspective. At the end of the day, like, this is a song about a girl singing about a girl named Betty. I was walking home on broken cobblestones, just thinking of you when she pulled up like a figment of my worst intentions. Girls cheat. This does not dilute my argument by any stretch of the imagination.
Don't look at me like that. Shove it down. Shove it way down.
She said, James, get in, let's drive. Those days turned into nights. Slept next to her, but I dreamt of you all summer long. Okay. Betty, I'm here on your doorstep and I planned it out for weeks now. First of all, what kind of guy is this good at planning at 17? I would like to know, simply because I'd like to adopt him as my son.
The thing is, if it were a straight song, he could just come out and ask her.
Yeah! You guys, the straight timeline in relationships, I feel like is like, especially when you're this young, is like this short compared to gay relationships. Was like this long. It's so much build up. Every little look, every little word that could potentially mean another word that's a hint to another word, which is a secret scavenger hunt into a garden. Like, that is 100% what like being gay feels like.
Jackson, North Carolina.
Is that where you were born?
Showed up at your party. Will you have me? Will you love me? Will you kiss me on the porch in front of all your stupid friends? You cannot convince me that this song is about a man and a woman. The pinnacle of this song is the fact that they get to kiss on the porch in front of all their friends. Also, like, low-key, if this was a man saying all your stupid friends, I'd be like, who do you think you are? Why are you calling my friends stupid? But if you're gay, it's probably like your friends are homophobic. If you kiss me, will it be just like I dreamed it? What boy is saying this? I don't mean to say men can't dream. That is not the moral of this story. Men can certainly dream.
Hello, I am editing in post and I just don't think that I expressed this very well. I basically just meant to say that when you're queer, you have to spend a lot more time dreaming and theorizing and speculating about what you or your same-sex kiss is gonna feel like and look like, because you don't really get as much representation in media. And a lot of it is up to your imagination.
The fact that she's hitting on so many of these themes in a row, I don't think is a coincidence. If you kiss me, will it be just like I dreamed it? Will it patch your broken wings? Don't even talk to me about girls and birds. Birds in cages was a lot of the time a symbol for feminism in literature because the cage was the patriarchy.
Listen to this. Monogamy is common among birds.
That's great, because I love birds.
It's sapphic imagery. Lesbians created cottagecore and then straight people were like, I like this goat, and they took it with them. I need to catch a breath and I'm sweating so hard.
Even if Taylor Swift isn't coming out as gay with this song
is for the gays.
This song could be gay storytelling.
Yeah! Here's this line where she like ties it back to that cardigan. Standing in your cardigan. Gay girls trade clothes constantly. I would much rather wear a lesbian lover's sweater than any boyfriend's article of clothing. These are facts because the style is usually immaculate. Have I been lent a lady sweater? Absolutely. Have I kept a lady sweater for too long? Absolutely. I know that men wear sweaters and I love men in sweaters. We all saw Chris Evans in a sweater. We love it. Men in sweaters. Mwah. Stopped at a street light, you know I miss you. The end. And that's Betty. My throat is hoarse. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was fun and interesting and cathartic in some kind of way. You can follow me on Instagram. You can leave a comment down below, give me a thumbs up. This will probably be a one-off video. I don't usually make videos like this. I personally had a good time. I will see you guys in some vlog in the future. I encourage you to take care, to speak out against injustice, and use your voice proudly and without fear. I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.
Not to make generalizations.
Yes, but that's what all this video is generalizations. So you're just gonna have to get used to it.